God, I hope the players don't watch this.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another tier list with myself and Matt. And this week we are taking a look at Manchester United's most valuable players of all time. So we have got 10 players and we have got 5 categories. I shall run them through with you.
Cool.
So we have got 10 out of 10 would buy again. Then we've got great deal, did the job, should have bought Bitcoin, and complete waste of money. I'm going to have some fun with this one. I've got a very good feeling about this. So let's get started with number 10. Bit of an older one here in Rio Ferdinand.
I'm not sure Bitcoin was around when Rio Ferdinand was bought by Manchester United. Doesn't matter, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
There is. You can debate the greatest English and Manchester United centre-backs of all time, and he is 100% up there.
Yeah.
Won everything with Manchester United in the space of, 10 years at the club?
Yeah, key player in that team.
That was a lot of money for back then.
It was a lot of money for back then, yeah. And a key player. I can't even think of the words. A key player, vital for that Man United team, has won a lot with them. Especially in the later years, him and Vidic linking up. Yeah, great.
Oh my God.
10 out of 10 would buy again.
Yeah, 100%. There's no doubt.
So next up, we have got at right back, Mr. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Only been at the club a season or two.
Ooh.
A lot of potential in him, definitely, only 21 years of age. What are you thinking?
50 million from Palace, though.
A lot of money.
My problem with Wan-Bissaka is I think actually one-on-one, he's the best defender England have got. You try and beat Aaron Wan-Bissaka one-on-one, you'll be lucky if you get 1 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Last season, looking at him kind of versus Sterling.
Oh my God, there was him.
Yeah, and one or two of the games, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think that for me was a turning point where I was like, wow, this kid definitely has the talent.
But I think the lack of attacking threat is going to hang over him to the point where at what point do Manchester United go, we need to buy right back who can actually get forward?
This is the thing.
And if they do that, 50 million looks like a lot for a player who's not guaranteed to start. I think he's a fantastic defender, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to go did the job. Does the job, did the job.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I think he's ticking the right boxes at the moment, and we're just going to have to wait and see if he can progress more with the attacking player.
Yeah, if he does progress more, it will look like a bit of a bargain.
Next up, we have got Fred.
One half of McFred.
Half of McFred.
But I saw this video the other day of him at Shakhtar, where United signed him, banging in goals, looking like an unbelievable midfielder.
That's what we all watched when we expected his arrival, and a controversial player in that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keeps playing him.
Yeah.
Donny van der Beek is sat on the bench, but Fred is always there in that midfield. Has had some good moments, has also had some extremely terrible moments that has arguably cost United some games.
I really, really don't know, because part of me thinks he can still be a good midfielder, but he's sort of bundled in with... It's got to the point where I don't think United trust him as a lone central midfielder in the way that you would a normal defensive midfielder.
Yeah, I agree.
And to be the more attacking threat from midfielder, I don't know. I'm going to go, should have bought Bitcoin.
I am there with you.
For Fred.
The amount of money, other players that we potentially missed out on, the fact that if he wasn't there, a player like Van der Beek would probably get a bit more playing
that's
time.
true. Or there'd be a place for Pogba in the middle.
Exactly. So, I agree. Should have bought Bitcoin. Okay. Another controversial player, we have got Anthony Martial.
Oh my God. I'm trying to keep the recency bias out of my head of him being...
I'm not.
of him being terrible recently.
Complete waste of money.
Is that what you're going for, right at the bottom?
100%. He came in from Monaco. This was going to be the next Ballon d'Or winner. He was going to completely tear it up in the Premier League. And whilst we have had 1 or 2 decent seasons, I think, was it a season or 2 ago, him and Rashford scoring a lot of goals, he has not delivered. What we were expecting, it hasn't arrived. I know that there have been talk about issues he's maybe had off the pitch, issues on the pitch, which I completely get is tough, but you're being paid a certain amount of money, you are putting on the Man United kit, and you need to perform. And unfortunately, He's not performing. He's being given chances, and
would
he's
you
not
cut
stepping
your
up.
losses now and sell him?
100%.
Okay, well.
100%.
Oh boy.
So I've said my piece. So where are you putting him?
Oh, this is such a tough one. At the time, I think he was an exciting young player.
He really was.
There was a lot of money paid for him. For a teenager, oh my God. I'm going to have to go waste the money as well. You tipped me. I think Anthony Martial will be brilliant somewhere else.
And you know what?
Just think for
I want
United.
him to go and do well because, you know, nobody wants to see a footballer that clearly does have talent not be able to deliver in some way. So, yeah, I think it would be best for everybody.
After so much time, if he hasn't got it, and what are we looking at? 2015 he was bought. After 6 years, heading into his sixth season. Yeah,
it's time to cut your losses.
Yeah,
and it's not going to get better with the amount of talent that they do have in that position now. So, yeah. One player that I will not be selling anytime soon, if ever, is Bruno Fernandes.
He does a job.
Yeah,
Penalty miss
could be
aside.
better, could be worse. Yeah, penalty miss aside, don't talk about that.
10 out of 10 would buy again.
$1,000,000%.
I've never seen an attacking midfielder kind of just completely change the fortunes of a team like instantly.
That was it. It was the instant
crazy.
Transformation.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's no discussion there. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Next up, we have got Angel Di Maria from Real Madrid back in the 2014-15 season.
Oh my
I'll let you
God.
say what you want to say about this one.
At the time,
it was amazing.
At the time, it seemed like a good deal because he was ridiculous with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So the 2014, so the 13-14 season was the one with Ancelotti, I believe, Real Madrid winning the Champions League for the first time in a long time. He was brilliant and a brilliant player going to one of the biggest clubs in the world. It just matched, but for whatever reason, it didn't on the pitch.
It didn't.
There was that argument with Van Gaal. It was a complete waste of money. That said, it. Now it's not. Now at PSG, if we were doing a PSG version of this, I'd put him in great deal or 10 out of 10 will buy again.
Yeah.
But for United, for those, 2 seasons? Waste of money. Waste of money.
I agree, complete waste of money. Looking at what was going on the pitch, I feel bad for him because it didn't work out. And that's a shame. Like I've previously said, you don't want to see talented players not be able to find their groove. So I'm glad that he kind of, when he did, I think it was time to just kind of cut everybody's losses, really. But then Di Maria and some of the things that he's had to say about Manchester United is exactly why he is a complete waste of money, because I don't like people, I am biased, I don't like people that slag my club off.
That's fair enough.
And the fact that Ashley Young kind of rammed him into that side when they were playing was justice, in my opinion.
She watches that video every day.
I do. That's how I start my day. Anyway, another player that's definitely a good debate is Romelu Lukaku.
What are you thinking on Lukaku?
This is a tough one because Romelu Lukaku as a player, absolutely love him. I think that he was done dirty at Man United, and it is such a shame that for whatever reason they couldn't work it out. And you look at how amazing he is now, and I'm so glad that he's back in the Premier League. He made that move to Inter, now to Chelsea, and it's all slotting into place, and he's getting the respect that he deserved, because I felt really sorry for him. But he's still, although he maybe wasn't on the level that we're seeing now, for whatever reasons, he still, was very good for Man United in spells. So I'm going to go, this is probably more because I do have a lot of respect for him as a player. I'm going to go for, did the job, in that he ticked certain boxes that Man United needed at the time, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't push to that next level.
I actually completely agree. I think he, look, 75 million was way too big for Everton to turn down. The chance of moving to United for Lukaku was way too much to turn down. And they asked him to do this role up front, be a player that he wasn't, asked him to play the role that he wasn't quite suited to. Manchester United probably have a fault or a bit to blame.
And he sucked it up and did it.
Yeah. I'm going to go did the job as well, actually.
Yeah.
I think he did the job that was asked. It wasn't a great one from United or from him. But now... now he'd be way higher up. But for United, for those couple of years, did the job.
Yeah. Okay, next we have got Jadon Sancho, obviously not long been at Manchester United. People can argue hasn't had the best start, but making the transition from Dortmund to Man United back to the Premier League, to English football, shall we say. It's not been plain sailing, but, still a very talented player on his day.
I feel like we're coming into what we talked about on our last video with Manchester City, talking about Jack Grealish, which you can find here. That it was a lot of money for a player who is like not a guaranteed starter, and I think on paper Sancho would be. It doesn't seem to be at the minute. For that kind of money, Sancho has to go on and have a career at Manchester United that spans at least 5 or 6 years, contributing double figures goals and assists and winning trophies. And I'm not entirely sure if he's going to do it, but I do think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think for his age and his potential, it's a great deal.
I agree.
It's a great deal.
And considering how many other clubs were after him, that was quite shocked that Man United managed to get the deal done. I agree. At the moment, I'm a little bit concerned, but you still have to look at how much talent he really does have. And I've got my fingers crossed that...
The thing is, it's not... They haven't overpaid.
No.
He was phenomenal at Dortmund for 3 years.
Worth the price tag.
And that's how much... An unbelievably good attacking winger who scores and assists in the Champions League regularly. That's how much they cost.
And if he'd have scored, 3 goals since his arrival at Man United, we'd probably have a different, look at it. Yeah.
And also, Dortmund wanted at least 110 million last summer. So this season they got him for, I think, 85. Maybe that's 85 million pounds.
Yeah.
So closer to 100 million euros. I'm going great deal.
Yeah, I agree.
You're joining me there.
So next, we have got a defender in Harry Maguire. Another player that a lot of people were after him at the time, made the move from Leicester. Yeah. There's been some debate. I think that definitely his centre-back pairing situation does come into it. But I still think he's a very talented player. And I'm actually going to go 10 out of 10 would buy again, because at the time, Man United needed a strong centre-back. Since those days of, Ferdinand and Vinny, it's been a bit wishy-washy. So I think to have a player like Maguire who, people might laugh at this, but I trust him in that position. And I think to see him with Raphael Varane, I've just got a good feeling about it. And I do think he is still a talented player, even though things haven't been completely plain sailing. But I think as well, looking at a player's personality, the fact that he played through injuries for Man United, was getting like injections in his hip to keep playing and stuff like that.
Took the captaincy early.
Took the captaincy. I rate all of those things, and I just feel like it's going to continue, getting better, and maybe he'll gather a bit more momentum with his form and stuff.
And that's a very good point. They needed him at the time.
Yeah. And they got a player that was arguably one of the most in demand in the Premier League at that point.
It was a lot of money. I think also, and you mentioned Ferdinand there, the weight of being a Manchester United centre-back and a Manchester United captain
is huge.
He's never going to be Ferdinand.
And the criticism that he came under.
He's never going to be Terry for England. He's never going to be those guys. That's always going to mark him down, I guess, because it's very difficult. I would go great deal.
Yeah,
I would go great deal. I think he has been fantastic for United. And like you said, it's definitely something they needed. It just looked like the partnership wasn't quite there. But with Varane. Obviously, Varane's very good.
So, last but by no means least, we have Paul Pogba. Of course, was a Manchester United player, reportedly fell out with Fergie. And of course, made the move to Juventus. And came back to Man United.
What I've realised is just mad. Just talking about the one before. Varane's not on this list. Varane costs less than Rio Ferdinand did. Like 18 years after Ferdinand signed. Jesus, that's a pretty good deal. Anyway, sorry, we're back to talking about Pogba.
So, there are the people, myself included at times, that have been very critical of Pogba, considering you see how well he plays for France. You saw what he could do at Juventus. Has he 100% always brought that to the table consistently? No. But has he still provided Man United with some really brilliant moments, some great goals, really, got in there and, what's the word I'm looking for? Really just like kind of knuckled down at times when United needed a player to do that.
It's just been too few and far between.
That's my issue, and I get that some people are so team Pogba and are just going to see him through these rose-tinted glasses, but at the end of the day, the money that was paid, the expectations, all these things combined, it hasn't 100%
No,
worked out.
it hasn't. I'm getting a bit of... I feel like he's a mix of the other players on this list. Like, there's a bit of Lukaku in there to say that have United used him properly?
Exactly.
Like we talked about Lukaku. There's a bit of Sancho in there, whereas Pogba was one of the best midfielders in Europe at the time.
And the fact that they got
incredibly
him is...
talented, so they had to pay that money to bring in any sort of a talented midfielder. I'm not quite sure there's a bit of Bruno in there, being a 10 out of 10 would buy again and instantly change United.
I agree.
Oh,
It's a really tough
I've
one.
always backed Pogba's talent. I've always said, the classic, on his day.
Yeah.
You hear that every other week. On his day is this, that. But at what point do you think, when is his day coming? Is Bitcoin a bit too harsh?
And this is the thing in that, like you say, I think Man United have to take part of the blame. I know people have talked about had they have maybe built more of a team around him, things could have been different. But he also has to take a little bit of the blame. Obviously, there was a little bit of an issue with the captaincy. Sometimes his attitude has been called into question. It's a really tough one because, to be honest, my head is saying should have bought Bitcoin, even though it sounds really harsh. And I know people are going to come for me, but then I kind of feel tight and I just feel like he is doing the job, kind of, but not, for me, the player that Paul Pogba is, i.e. when he's got a France shirt on. Is he doing the job? Do you know what I mean?
He's not doing the job of an £85 million midfielder. It's not a great deal because of all the, the inconsistencies, because basically he still doesn't have a starting spot in the United team after,
he doesn't have like a fixed,
5 years?
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy him again. Should have bought Bitcoin, seems a bit harsh. The thing is, at the time, if Paul Pogba hadn't signed for United when he wanted to leave Juventus, would he have gone on to be a great with Juve and lead them to a Champions League? If he'd have signed for someone like Real Madrid, which has always been touted, would he have been a Real Madrid great and won a few Champions Leagues with them? So United did well to get him. So he's not a complete waste of money.
I think I'm going to go with did the job because I agree with you. I can't completely invest in the Bitcoin category. So I think I'm going to have to go with did the job, even though he hasn't done the job 100% to my liking.
I love Paul Pogba's ability when he's great, but I just think that there could have been a lot of issues that would have been better navigated without having to try and fit him in, which is United's fault. So they should have bought Bitcoin instead.
Fair enough.
That's tough. Sorry, Paul.
I know, we're really sorry, Paul. But yeah, that is our tier list of Manchester United players. That was a tough one. That was a tough one for me.
I know,
so
God. Oof.
Yeah, but as always, check out all of the content that we have got here. And until next time, myself and Matt will see you guys later.